When you think of ancient Rome, what comes to mind? Marble temples, disciplined legions conquering the world, aqueducts slicing across the landscape. We remember the Romans for their engineering, their laws, and their conquering armies. But what if I told you that beneath that polished veneer of civilization lay something much darker? An obsession with blood. We're talking about priests bathing in the steaming blood of a bull, hoping for a new life. We're talking about a desperate scramble on the arena floor to drink the vital essence of a dying gladiator. This is the side of Rome they definitely don't teach you in history class. These weren't just strange ceremonies, they were terrifyingly real tools of religion, power, and control. So what drove the supposedly civilized Romans to such shocking acts? Let's start with the most chilling practice of all: human sacrifice. Now the Romans would often point the finger at their enemies, calling them barbaric for doing it. But when their own backs were against the wall, they weren't above it themselves. Although it was officially outlawed by the Senate in 97 BCE, it lingered as a terrifying last resort. The most infamous example happened after the disastrous Battle of Cannae in 216 BCE. With Hannibal's army threatening the city, a wave of panic swept through Rome. Convinced the gods had utterly abandoned them, they turned to a horrifying ancient rite. Following the guidance of sacred texts, they took 2 Gauls and 2 Greeks, a man and a woman from each culture, and buried them alive in the city's cattle market. This wasn't a crime of passion, it was a cold, ritualistic transaction, a human down payment to the gods for the survival of Rome. It shows that when their world was on the brink of collapse, no price was too high. But not all blood rituals were born from fear. Some were about a twisted kind of hope, the promise of a new life. This brings us to the Taurobolium, a ritual connected to the powerful Eastern goddess Cybele. Picture this: an initiate, often a priest, climbs down into a deep pit. Above him, a wooden platform with holes in it. And on that platform, a magnificent bull is sacrificed, its hot blood cascading through the planks, drenching the person below in a gruesome shower. The belief was that this baptism of blood washed away impurities, granting a spiritual regeneration. Some inscriptions say the person was renatus in aeternum, reborn for eternity. However, other evidence suggests this rebirth may have only been considered effective for 20 years, after which the ritual might need to be repeated. Either way, they believed the vital life force of the powerful animal was being directly transferred, offering a new, purified existence. It's wild stuff, right? If you find these hidden histories as fascinating as I do, consider subscribing. We're just getting started. Now we leave the temple and head to the arena, a place where blood was spilled for entertainment, but also coveted for a very different reason: medicine. The gladiatorial games were massive public spectacles, but as fighters fell on the sand, some spectators were there for more than just the show. Ancient writers like Pliny the Elder tell us with a tone of disgust about a shocking practice. People suffering from epilepsy would rush to the arena floor to buy the still warm blood of a slain gladiator. They believed that drinking it on the spot was a potent cure. The logic, as strange as it sounds, may have been rooted in the medical theories of the time, which associated epilepsy with coldness or an imbalance of the body's humors. The thinking went that by consuming the hot, vital blood of a powerful warrior at the peak of their life force, the patient could absorb that vitality and cure their cold disease. One Roman writer called it a miserable aid made tolerable by a malady still more miserable. It was a desperate remedy for a desperate condition, turning a public spectacle of death into a private, horrifying hope for life. Human sacrifice in a crisis, priests reborn in bull's blood, and epileptics drinking the life force of fallen warriors. These weren't just a few bizarre, isolated events. They were threads in the complex fabric of Roman life, weaving together religion, power, and a raw, primal belief in the potency of blood. For the Romans, blood was more than just a fluid. It was the essence of life itself, a conduit to the gods, a tool of state control, and a source of supernatural power. From the battlefield to the temple, and from the temple to the arena, Rome's story was written in blood. These shocking rituals remind us that beneath the marble, the laws, and the legions, the civilized Roman world was a place of deep, dark, and powerful beliefs. So which of these rituals shocked you the most? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed uncovering the history they don't teach you in school, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the past.